Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of the Pokemon Journey series. We're going to be covering episode 71 in today's review, and this was quite an interesting episode. It was the start of Project Mew, and Go's first mission, or at least his first participation in Project Mew. And again, a very interesting episode. There was a lot of stuff revealed for Project Mew in this episode that I thought was really interesting, and yeah, let's get on to the review. Well, before that, I should say, if you're new to the channel, you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It'd be pretty cool if you did that. Alrighty, we might as well get on with the review now. So the episode begins with Go receiving his first mission via email for Project Mew. He's the head to the Sinnoh region, go to the laboratory there that's at the foot of Mount Coronet, and he'll receive his instructions there. They didn't know there was a laboratory there previously, but Ash and Go decide to head to the Sinnoh region, and as they're walking up to the laboratory, they actually run into Gary. And I actually thought this was pretty cool because I wasn't expecting Gary to actually appear in this episode. I figured this would be maybe a flashback sequence for Gary, but he's actually here, and it's funny because he says hi to Ash, but then he forgets Go's name because he's a incompetent trainer. And he warns Go that it's not easy getting on the Project Mew. He's basically warning him. So Gary heads off, and Go is rather frustrated because Gary is just a jerk to him. Anyways, they head to the laboratory. So anyways, Ash and Go head into the laboratory, and they meet the leader of Project Mew, Professor Hodaka, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and one of the members of Project Mew, Asahi. And this is where things get explained here, what Project Mew is about, and what they need for Project Mew. And it's actually pretty interesting. So Asahi explains to Ash and Go that the purpose of Project Mew is to conduct a search on Mew in an area called Mount Table at a remote island. And I'm not really sure where this is located at in the Pokemon world, so in the comment section down below, if you know where this is at, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to consider this an anime original area in the Pokemon universe. Or at least in the anime. But anyways, there's to be 5 people that are going to be conducting a search on Mew at this area. And they're to go on the week where the mountain is in dry season. When it's in wet season, it's basically impossible to explore. So they're going to go when it's dry. But there's already 2 people that have qualified for Project Mew. Asahi, and then another person that we will meet later on. And we'll discuss him in a little bit. But anyways, so they're looking for 3 more members. So in order to qualify, they're looking for the top 3 people to gather enough tokens through various missions in Project Mew. The people with the most tokens, at least the top 3 candidates with the most tokens, will qualify for Project Mew. So, yeah, Gary is essentially Go's rival, confirmed here, because he's basically competing with Go in order to, land a spot in Project Mew. And Gary's already got a token, so he's already ahead of Go at this point. So Go's got some catching up to do. But anyways, Go's assignment here is to capture an Alolan Ninetales that's in the Sinnoh region. Why it's here, we'll find out in a little bit. So anyways, the laboratory that Ash and Go thought they were in was actually an airship or a transport ship or a laboratory / airship hybrid, whatever you want to call it. But anyways, they're flying in the air. They're now in a snowy, icy area of Mount Coronet. And Go's got his mission now. He's got 6 hours to complete it. And based on his capturing skills, his battling skills, and his teamwork with others, will determine how well he does in his first mission, or I guess how many tokens he gets. So Ash and Go head out into Mount Coronet to find this Alolan Ninetales. Anywho, Ash and Go search for this Alolan Ninetales, and are not having very much luck, but I think it's interesting that Go brought Flygon, Aerodactyl, Misdreavus, and Scizor to search for Alolan Ninetales here, which I like quite a bit. I like the fact that Go is using some of these Pokemon, even though they don't have a whole lot of screen time here. It's nice to see that these Pokemon were utilized here, I guess, despite the fact that we haven't seen some of them in a little while. But anyways, at least he brought them along with him. It's a thought that counts, I guess. But anyway, Scizor hasn't returned, and as it turns out, it actually has found Alolan Ninetales. And Steel type is super effective against Ice type, so Ash has Scizor battle against Alolan Ninetales. Unfortunately, it gets defeated as it gets frozen. So, Go has to recall his Scizor, but then Alolan Ninetales is being very erratic here. Its demeanor is supposed to be calm according to the Pokedex, but it's anything but that. It's actually viciously attacking Ash and Go, and it calls upon a blizzard that knocks Ash and Go out, and they probably would have died if it wasn't for somebody saving them. So anyways, as it turns out, Ash and Go were rescued by Tsurugi, the other member in Project Mew. The other one that's actually qualified, I should say. But anyways, he actually calls out Ash and Go for being weak, and because of this, they almost died. And he was the one that saved them. So he calls them out for their weakness and basically tells Go that he's disqualified to be part of Project Mew. Pretty harsh, but this dude and pretty much the other girl that's part of Project Mew have been pretty strict so far, so no surprises here. But anyways, we learn how Alolan Ninetales ended up in the Sinnoh region. Pokemon hunters, poachers. Basically, they stole Alolan Ninetales from its habitat, and its airplane, or I guess airship or airplane, whatever you want to call it, crashed in the Sinnoh region and caused Alolan Ninetales to be stuck here in the Sinnoh region. Yeah, that sucks. So this is why Alolan Ninetales is so hostile towards humans. Yeah, these stupid Pokemon hunters and poachers, they're scumbags. Anywho, after the blizzard clears up, despite Tsurugi telling him he's disqualified, Go still is determined to capture the Alolan Ninetales. He still hasn't run out of time yet, so he still has time to capture this Pokemon. But Tsurugi over here basically calls him out and says, "You have no clues of where this Pokemon is. How are you going to find it?" And that's when Go actually says something pretty clever. So earlier in the episode when we got the Pokedex entry for Alolan Ninetales, it said that the Alolan Ninetales resides on Mount Lanakila, where a deity resides at, which is one of the Tapus. But anyways, Go figures that it probably wanted to be in an area that was similar to Mount Lanakila, and points to an area in Mount Coronet that looks similar to that mountain. So they decide to explore this area. And as it turns out, Go was correct. They end up running into Alolan Ninetales, and this time Go uses Cinderace to battle against Alolan Ninetales, a fire type. Nice going, Go. But it's still struggling against this Alolan Ninetales. What level is this Ninetales, by the way? A level, like, 70? Because this thing is making Cinderace struggle quite a bit, which is pretty crazy. But anyways, Go manages to land a Pyro Ball with Cinderace on Alolan Ninetales, and is about to capture it, but then another Pokemon appears and freezes Go's Pokeball. Turns out to be Regice, or Regice, I should say. So, Regice is a deity, so it makes sense why Alolan Ninetales is here. There's a deity in the Alola region on Mount Lanakila, and then there's a deity here in Regice. Neat. So while Ash deals with Regice, Go manages to calm down Alolan Ninetales and actually catches it. So good job, Go, you completed your mission. But Ash ends up getting defeated by Regice, so Tsurugi steps in, uses Urshifu, which is a single strike Urshifu, and takes out Regice with a single strike. And yeah, the interesting thing here is that Tsurugi seems to be familiar with this Regice and he wants to come back for it later, so I find this to be pretty intriguing. What was this Regice to Tsurugi, and why is he familiar with it? Not really sure, but I guess we'll find out at a later date. So anyways, we're back at the lab, and as it turns out, this first mission for Go to capture this Alolan Ninetales and send it back to its home really wasn't a mission for Project Mew. Actually, it was more so a test to see if Go was eligible to be a member, or at least a challenger for Project Mew. And he passed the test with flying colors, and now has been officially accepted as a challenger for Project Mew, as the episode comes to an end. So I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. This was a fantastic episode and a great start to Project Mew. I'm very much intrigued with this project, and I think it was a great thing for the series to introduce this. This was something that Go desperately needed, in my opinion. He needed something to drive him closer to his goal besides catching Pokemon. Like, it is neat that he wants to catch all the Pokemon, but Project Mew is something that I think is a much, I guess, better goal. Not really so much better, but it's just a more interesting goal for Go to achieve towards his ultimate goal of catching Mew. I think this was a great introduction, and I think it was handled very well. I like the new characters, I like their personalities, and I'm very interested to see where it goes from here, because this was a great start in my opinion. So I appreciate the fact that Gary made a full-on appearance in this episode. I was afraid going into this episode it would be a flashback sequence that Gary would appear in, but I was pleasantly surprised when he actually appeared in the episode and talked to Ash and Go. That was really nice, so I'm expecting him to appear more often. Since he's part of Project Mu anyways, he'll probably make appearances here and there, so that's nice. But this tells me that other characters that have already appeared, like Iris, the Alola Gang, Karina, have the potential of appearing again in Journeys, besides Flashback. And I definitely want to see that. But another thing that I find interesting here is that I do think that Gary is probably going to be one of the candidates chosen for Project Mu along with Go. But who's going to be the third candidate? There's 5 people that are going to be part of this. So who's going to be the third person that's chosen along with Gary, potentially Gary, and Go as part of Project Mu? I think it would be interesting if other past characters participate in Project Mu, like Brock, for example. What if he was part of Project Mu? Just throwing that out there. Probably not a good example for Brock, but just take other characters from the past, and I could see them potentially participating in this project. Kind of like how Iris and Karina are participating in the Pokemon World Championships. Why not have other past characters participate in Project Mu besides Gary? We could have other characters, I'm not a big fan of the character, but Max could be part of Project Mu, maybe? Probably not. Maybe Tracy is part of Project Mu? Just throwing it out there. But yeah, I would like to see some past characters also participate in Project Mu as well. I think it'd be pretty interesting. One more thing I liked for this episode is that we've got a brand new ending for the Pokemon Journey series going forward. After 70 episodes, we finally have a new ending, and while it's not my favorite ending by far, it's definitely better than the one we had. That one was getting on my nerves. At the end of every episode, I was just like, ugh, this ending song again. So, yay, new ending. Not the best, but I'll take it over what we had. I do have 2 minor issues with the episode. The first minor issue is that Ash pretty much got defeated by Regice off screen. And considering the fact that Pikachu already defeated a Regice before in Brandon's Regice, it is kind of disappointing that Ash was defeated here, like that, off screen. Also, why didn't you use some of your other Pokemon, like Lucario, for example? I think Lucario would have been a good Pokemon to face off against Regice, but Ash just used Pikachu. Then again, Pikachu did defeat a Regice, but in this case it didn't. But whatever. It's not the biggest deal in the world. I also felt that Go calmed Alola Ninetales down relatively easily. I feel like this could have been handled a little bit better. Up to this point, Alola Ninetales was just absolutely hostile against Ash and Go. And then Go just shows up, talks it down, and then it's okay, and it just allows Go to capture it just like that. I don't know. I think it was kind of rushed there a little bit. That's just my opinion, though. I think it could have been handled just a little bit better. But besides that, the scene with Urshifu basically taking out Regice made up for that. So that's pretty much all I got for this episode review. So overall, a very solid episode. A great start to Project Mu. And what I'd like to see for Journeys going forward is to see Project Mu episodes here and there, and then we have Pokemon World Championship episodes here and there. That way you get your Go Focus episodes, and you get your Ash Focus episodes. And considering how good this episode was, I'm looking forward to future Project Mu episodes. So I'm going to give this episode a solid 9.5 out of 10. A fantastic episode. So guys in the comment section down below, what did you think of this episode? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Post your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys later.